So today I'm gonna show you how to string a racket with the two-piece method. For this method is obviously you need two pieces. First, clamp the racket, finger tight, and then you're good to go. Make sure you don't block the grommets. That's finger tight. The other 4 clamps. So now it's secured. This on the head. So I start here because here are 6 grommet holes. When there are 8, you need to start at the top. But now I start at the throat. So then make sure string equally. Second thing is you clamp it. One string with your starting clamp, if you have those. If you don't have this, if you don't have starting clamp, I recommend to buy one. Those are a starting clamp is essential for stringing. A starting clamp is essential for the for stringing. So if you don't have one, I recommend to buy one, because without that it won't be that. So pull tension on the other string. Yeah. Clamp that string with your other clamp. Release, tension that. Then go on with the same string and put it through the grommet. Make sure you always go under the heart, because when you go over you will damage the frame. So make sure you do that. Then second thing, you again pull tension. Then release clamp. Release tension. Then you go to the starting clamp. You release those, and then you pull tension on that string. Release clamp. Put clamp towards it. Then with the same string, you again go in the grommet. And now you want to make sure that you go every time. You do 2 mains on the one side, and then you go to the other side and do 2 mains. So again, be aware to go under the frame. Pull tension. So now I have to do 1 time more the main, and then I go to the other side, so that the tension is equally over the racket, so you don't bend the frame or something. So the chance to bend your frame is a little smaller, but the chances are small to bend the frame if you do it once. But yeah, I won't. So this still action, now you go to the other side. As you can see, when you do one string, you are right here, and then you are equally on your strings. So then you do one again, and then you go to the other side, and you basically repeat this action for the mains. So that's why stringing isn't that hard. It's just you need to know how to do it correctly. That's very important, because there are a lot of ways you can make mistakes. So be aware of those and know what those mistakes are, so you can avoid them. So again, this. One of those mistakes you can make easily is to do a main in a grammar that's meant for the crosses. So those grammars that are meant for crosses are, you call those skipped grammars. So you need to skip those, because you only want to string for the mains for through the main grammars, not through the So we are almost by skipped grammar. So a skipped grammar you can recognize. So a grammar that's meant for the crosses. You can recognize those when they are basically directed in the wrong direction. So they're directed, So one of the things you can do wrong within the mains, with stringing the mains, is you put your string in a grammar that's meant for the crosses. So you only want to put string through the grammars for the mains. Those crosses are called skipped grommets, so you need to skip those. Those are most of the time those are those are indicated in the wrong direction, or those are indicated with a point, so you can so again, this is a skip grommet, so you don't want to go through the grommet. That's meant for the crosses. Those grommets that are meant for the cross are most of the time pointed in the wrong direction, so those are when your mates go like this, your cross skipples are like pointed in the wrong direction, or the skipped grommets are indicated with sometimes with a point. But if you are not sure if it's a grommet for the crosses, just look at the frame, which string pattern it is, and then you can easily see if it's belong to the mains or the grommets. Or if you can't find it on the frame, you can easily search it on the internet. So now I'm with my last string. What you do is you set the tension a little bit higher for the knot, because you will lose a little bit of tension because of knot. So set your tension a little bit higher. So now you want to tie your knot for your mains. What you do is you count the second big grommet from the inside out. That's your grommet for most of the time for the mains. So pull a little bit of tension so that your tension will be less. So what you do, you go over the string, under the string, and then through the little loop you just create between your main and your own string. Then you go from the inside out through the loop to the outside. Then you have two little loops. You don't pull the string just pull a little bit on the string. So now you have two loops. When you pull on one loop, there will be a little knot with your second string on the end. So you pull on that. What you do, you get your starting clamp and you pull towards you and up from you, up towards you, and then you grab the end of the string, you pull it, and now you have a second knot. So what you do is pull it towards you, above, up, and from you, up towards you. Now what you do, you hold tension on the knot and then release your clamp. So the tension will be less when you release it than just have no tension on the knot. So pull tension and then open your clamp. As you can see, it's pretty tight, so I don't lost much tension, and I set my machine a little bit higher. So what you do next, you want to cut string like a centimeter. So make sure you don't cut into another main, because that would be very very bad. Then you put the end of the knot, put it down. Now it looks like a really professional knot, because it's not too short and it's not too long. So then you go further on your other side on the last main. And again, set your tension a little bit higher. Then we do the same step as previous. So again, you go through the second big grommet from the inside. It's this one. Put your string into the second grommet, big grommet from the inside. Again, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but when I pull it, there's a lot of string that's just untensioned. That's the reason why you just pull it, so that now the string, as you can see, is much less string right there. So that's the reason why you pull it, and this tension loss will be less. So again, the same knot, the Wilson Pro knot. You go over the main, under the main, then you go through your loop, between the main and your own string. Then you have created a little loop. Then you go from the inside of the racket to the outside through your own made loop, and now you pull tension on the knot. So again, this one. So now you have two knots in one time. So again, pull towards you. Up from you, up towards you. Then the other knot, pull on it, pull towards you, up from you, up towards you. And again, make sure you hold tension and then release the clamp. So last thing to do again is to cut the knot within less than a centimeter and more than half a centimeter, and put it down. So now we have a decent tension. We didn't lose any tension on the outside mains, so now we have a well tensioned racket. If you do this method to string the crosses in this way, what I'm gonna show you, you need a starting clamp. I will show in another video how to do it without a starting clamp. I recommend to use a starting clamp, to buy one if you to afford one when you don't have one, because those are just very necessary. So you want to wave the crosses. So first main, you go over or under, that doesn't matter. And then you go the opposite, so over, and then under, over, under, over, under, over. So a quick check. So to do a quick check if you did it right, if you did not skip one main or something, you can look at the beginning. I went under the main, so I need at the end over the main, and I did. So then you go through the first grommet. What you then do, you want to have exactly enough string to reach your tensioner. What you do next is you grab your starting clamp, clamp it against the frame. Then you go to the end. Then you go to the end of the string, and you go in the second grommet for the cross. So you go into the second cross grommet. So there's now one string that's before the main, so you want to go the opposite of the previous string. So now I need to go again under, so that I end over on the second main, but then I am the opposite of the string. So now I go over here, and on this string I went under. So now I go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. So again, quick check. Started under, so I need to end over, and when I'm here over, so I need to be here under. I'm here under, so I need to be there over, and that's all right. Then what you do is you hold your hand like this, do a little bit of string between your thumb and your finger, and roll it. I prefer to roll it like this, and then you go with your nails, you push them above, and you pull with the other hand, and don't let this string loss. Don't lose this string, because you need to. It's faster when you have the string than that you search on ground for the end of the string. So push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. The reason why I don't just pull like this, you will damage the strings. There will be you will damage the string, and string won't go longer with you. So then you go to the third cross. Now you need to go opposite on the previous, so I go under, because there it's up over. I always pull a little bit of string, so that's easier to wave. But this is just practicing to be as fast as you can. So again, quick check, and everything is right. So what you do next, you don't pull further on this string, you just leave it like this. Then you pull tension. not on this string, but on the string, the second cross. So you pull tension on those, on that one. Make sure you straighten the strings. That's very important to make sure you don't lose tension on that. Clamp it. And now you go further. Again, you between your finger, push, pull. Some people like to like now to like this. This is just what you like, so there's no wrong, good or wrong. It's getting the cross through. So now, yes, under, so I go above, pull a little string, and wave it through. So the reason why I do always wave always two string, it's easier. There's less tension on, because this string is just loose, and then there's less tension on the waving. So that's the reason why you do the whole time one ahead. So just leave the string like this. Then pull tension on that string. Straighten it and clamp it. So now when you clamped it, you can just leave the starting clamp the whole time, and then in the end pull on this string, because on the beginning we pulled the string on two strings, so you need to pull this one again on the last string. So you can just wait and do on the end starting clamp. It's just if you like it or not. I just do it right now. So you need your clamp need to be this clamp need to be free. So I can just unclamp and nothing will happen, because I need this clamp to clamp the first clamp. So what you do, you let your starting clamp like here. That's the reason why you needed exactly the string to reach your tensioner. And then you pull tension. Clamped string. Oh. Now you can release your starting clamp and make a knot. So go to the biggest. So again, easy. The Wilson Pro knot, go over the main, under, and then through between the main and your own string. Then you have a little loop, and go from the inside to the outside through your loop, and then pull tension. Make sure pull tension on it. This is also the reason why I like a starting clamp, just to pull tension. You don't have to squeeze it. The starting clamp will do it itself, and you only have to pull. So that's also another reason why to make sure you have starting clamp. Those are just essential. I started stringing and I didn't have starting clamp, and that was just in the beginning. The string will slip when you start with your mains, and it's just not what you want. So release this clamp, pull tension, so you now didn't lost too much. So now all these 3 strings are currently tensioned. As you can see, it's pretty so then you just continue with what you did the whole time. So you just go the opposite of your previous string and go the whole racket. So this is the part that takes the longest, and how much you're doing it, how fast you are. So that's what you keep in mind. You need to practice this. It's very important. You just get faster and faster, and that's the reason why I will speed this up, because it's kind of boring of stringing, and it's just easy. Well, I wanted to say the reason why I always push with my hand. The reason is because then I push with my nails, and when I just pull it with my fingertips, after 3 rackets of stringing, my fingers were just destroyed. So that's the reason why I always use my nails by getting the string through. Straighten the string and then clamp it. Try to clamp it as close to the frame as possible, because then you will lose less tension. So now I had my string in my hand, but when I dropped it, I just need to find the end of the string, and that just takes time. And on stringing, it's just the quality your stringer against how fast you can do it. So also that's the reason why you don't just keep doing this, because then you need to find this end of the string. There's just little tricks to make you faster. Straighten it. When you don't straighten your string, you will lose a little bit of tension, and that just sucks. So there's another way to do this without to start like this. You can't start it without starting clamp. So then you use a fishing knot. It's just a knuckly knot, and now you don't pull tension on a knot. And when you don't have a starting clamp, you pull tension on a knot, and the chances are way bigger to destroy the grommet or destroy the frame when you pull tension on a knot. It's just something you want to avoid. And also, the difference between the one-piece stringing and the two-piece stringing is that when you, obviously, for 1-piece string you use 1 piece, and for 2-piece string you use 2 pieces. The advantage of 2-piece stringing is that, yeah, I could say better, the disadvantage of 1-piece string is that when you don't have enough string, you will just ruin the whole string. You maybe can cut it in half, so you have a half string, but you cannot do more of it. So that's the reason why a lot of stringers do 2-piece string. But for 2-piece string you will lose more string because you have 4 knots, so you got 4 times a little bit of string. And when you do 1-piece string you just do it only for 1 string. 1-piece stringing may be a little bit faster because you don't have to do 4 knots but 2, but I don't agree with that. Some say they don't. Yeah, that's just how fast you do knots, and maybe you will lose a little bit of tension when you do it incorrectly at the last mains. So that's the reason, also another reason why you should or shouldn't use the 2-piece stringing method. But one big advantage of the 2-piece string method is what I do. You can combine 2 different strings. And with the 1-piece string method, that's just impossible. So I think that's just the biggest advantage of 2-piece string. So when I string for my clients, I use 2-piece stringing when they want different strings, and I use 1-piece stringing when they want just 1 piece. Another trick is when you are almost the end, the waves will be very hard. So a trick is just pull a little bit of string, just go under over, so you can pretty fast just go without just destroying your fingers. That's a small trick I always do when it's very hard to wave the last crosses. Now on the last string, a knot string, let me say, also increase your tension because you have to do a knot. I forgot to tell it at the top to increase your tension, because always when you do a knot, increase your tension, because you will just lose tension. Then again, fourth knot. Go to the second big grommet. Get your string to the second big grommet from the inside. Again, make the same knot. Go over under the main. Go between the main and your own loop. Then go from the inside to the outside through your loop. Then pull tension on the sides. Again, pull first towards you, up from you, up towards you, and then last thing, hold tension and then release the clamps so that you don't lose tension on that. Now your arm is done. Just cut the string. Again, make sure you don't cut. Yeah, it's a very nice cut. So now you have your own racket string strung. Make sure you straighten the strings. You already did that, but the strings will be a little bit messy. It's way cleaner to just make sure the strings are straight. So you strung your own racket. I hope this video helped you a lot. Please have a look at my channel or subscribe so that I can post more videos and maybe more videos